if you're even in the program of doubt, you've come out of your heart center. Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. I'm Serena.
And I'm James.
And we are talking today all about twin flame doubt, everything that you need to know. Watch this video. Alright guys, welcome back. Thank you so much for being here today. If you haven't already, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the little notification bell so you're notified every time we come out with a new video. If you don't already know, we are Life After Union. We make these weekly videos on twin flame subjects, your spiritual awakening, and also conscious relationships. So today we are talking about twin flame doubt. Basically, I don't have a direct trajectory for this video because I think we're just going to talk about whatever comes up around it. But we get asked quite often, as you guys, I'm looking up and seeing a praying mantis on the window right there. So if you have praying mantis as your signs or synchronicities or spirit animal, there you go. But I think we get asked quite a lot if we ever doubted that we were twin flames. And last week we did a Q&A video talking about, is it important to know if you're twin flames or not? You know, like that kind of a thing. And I think what's interesting about the doubt is, like, especially if your twin flame doesn't know about twin flames, I think you're going to experience a significant amount of doubt. Do you want to speak on the doubt a little bit?
Yeah, I think it's one of those things that I think to a degree is healthy in a relationship to actually have a bit of doubt, because sometimes, you know, if you have too much comfortability, you tend to slack off, I guess you could call it. So for me, having a bit of doubt, obviously there's the supposed good doubt and bad doubt. But having doubt in a relationship just means that, you know, to a degree that you actually care about, for one, your own well-being and where you actually want to end up with what you want your direction to be. And through that doubt, you can also see if your partner has that same alignment. So I feel that doubt is a very beneficial thing to get, as long as you can almost control without controlling the doubt that comes up. And I think on the twin flame path, especially because you are so linked and connected, there's going to be times where the doubt's going to almost seem more than what maybe would be in a normal relationship, or with a soulmate, or just whatever other relationship you might have. Yeah, it's a very interesting topic, because it's a good thing and it can be a bad thing.
Well, I
think
think
being good or bad.
Yeah, I think it comes in a lot of shapes or sizes. So, like, you can have doubt based on if you talked about twin flames to a close friend or something, and they're like, whoa, what the heck is that? I don't believe in that. Or, yeah, I don't think you have a connection. You know, like, or just if you have a certain background that twin flames aren't readily accepted, like, it can be, that can bring up a lot of doubt, because one, like, you're running the risk, as always, as a twin flame, of being called crazy, because there's not that many twin flames in the world to make us feel like we are, you know, and that's part of the, I think that's part of the purpose of it, you know, is because that doubt dives you deeper into yourself. Because I think we've all gotten to that point where we doubt so much that there is almost like nothing you can believe, right? Like, you almost have to, and that's where the surrender comes in. Like, if you're doubting and doubting and doubting, and then you're like, well, I don't even know what to believe anymore, you just get exasperated to a certain point, and then you have to just surrender. So it's like, it's funny, I was just talking about this in the twin flame community that we just created, which, you guys, is this beautiful, lovely community. And I'll get into the next part in a second, but really what I've created for this community, and it took me a long time to create this community, because what I didn't want to recreate was all those old twin flame forums that are like negative, and people just harping on about toxic relationships and allowing bad things in their life for the name of their twin flame. And like, that was my first like experience with the twin flame label, and I was like, instantly, I do not want to be a part of that. I don't know what this is. I was probably maybe 14, 15, 16 at the time on Facebook, and I was like, I don't know what this is. I do not want to be a part of that. Years later, lo and behold, that journey comes back up. And so I really hesitated creating a community, because I was really afraid that, like, my community would get out of hand and it would turn into something negative. And then I realized, like, I actually have so much more power, and what I create, my intention, comes to fruition, and I have that power as a conscious creator. And so what's really beautiful about this community, you guys, is it's really for the inner child. It's for the twin flames that know they're on a twin flame path. They know that they're going towards union. They're committed to their awakening journey, and they just want to have some fun along the way. Like twin flames, and this is why it's such a cool community, is like twin flames, we know it's hard enough to be a twin flame. We feel crazy, we doubt ourselves, we are like forced to look at our shadow day in and day out. Like it's a hard journey, and the last thing I wanted to create in a community is more suffering. So I'm sorry that I'm boring you.
Happens on a daily. Don't doubt yourself.
But anyways, this community is really so special in that way, because it really is that place of upliftment and sharing our synchronicities, sharing our fun, and absolutely still sharing the negative things, but not in a way that it's going to allow us to be controlled by it. And I think that's what you're getting at with the doubt as well. And so what I was bringing up in the community, which if you want to join, you can link below, but what I was bringing up with there was like a forced surrender. And sometimes when you have so much doubt, it forces you into that surrender to say, I don't know what's up or down, I don't know what's left or right, so I'm just going to let go and hope that the universe puts me where I need to go. And I think that's exactly what happens. So if you have doubt on the twin flame journey, so I really love this quote, and I think I've said it more than once, but like the antidote to anxiety is not calm, it's trust. So if you have doubts, the only antidote to that is trust. Like you have to dive in deeper to your trust, or dive in deeper to your doubt, and then find that you're going to be forced into trusting. So there's really kind of two ways. One way out of it is trust, but there's two ways to get there. But yeah, I think one, if you don't have doubt on the twin flame journey, you're probably crazy and delusional. Like you're probably not a sane person. Like if you have doubts, like that's normal.
It's quite a statement.
Yeah, that's normal and that's healthy. Like if any one of us, because we have limited human perspective, right? So if any one of us can say, I know this person with 100%, without a shadow of a doubt, is my twin flame. What do you think about that?
I don't know, because I think there's two sides to that, because there's a side to it where, you know, you're avoiding the doubt, and therefore you should probably look at that a little bit more. And there's a side of it where you're not avoiding the doubt, but you're trusting so much within yourself and your beliefs and your inner voice that you're like, even though it might or might not, my inner voice is telling me this, and this is why I believe 100% without a doubt that it is. So I think it depends on the lens that you look through.
I'd like to dive into that a little bit more, because I think there's a discrepancy of what we're talking about, and I think that's basically probably just about
doubting me.
It's probably just about wording and like the way that we're looking at it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd like to kind of dive into that a little bit more about, you know, what I'm saying is that I think if you are 100% certain that somebody is your twin flame, because my lens from that is we're all human, we have limited human perspective. So you cannot actually confirm it until you're on the other side, right? Like that's my perspective.
You can just believe it.
You can only believe it. And that being said, yes, I get what you're saying, like in terms of the beliefs, but I feel like we're missing something there. Like there's a piece of the puzzle that we're missing. So I'd like you to talk on your side a little bit more.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of a way to explain it now that might make more sense to our community. Obviously in my head it makes a lot of sense, which doesn't help very many people.
Because can you ever really understand it with the human mind?
I think if you try think too logically about it, or too spiritually about it, no.
Right.
But I think if you allow yourself to release those things and not try put a rhyme or reason behind why you feel that way, and just know that it's actually a feeling that's deep and it's understandable, then you know it's something more than just an understanding.
Yes. Well, that's the exact point. Is what I'm saying is knowing comes from the mind, right? Where you're saying what you're reaching into is the felt experience of it. And you're saying,
I know what I felt.
You're saying someone could really feel 100% certain that someone's their twin flame, but you can't actually ever really know, because that feeling transcends the mind completely, right?
I mean, essentially, yeah.
So, I mean, obviously what we're both saying is true, which is, you guys, if you're ever in twin flame conflict, it always ends up coming to this. Like, I don't know if you guys experience this, and I'm always right. So I don't know if you guys always experience this as well with your twin flame, like when things are coming up for you, but it's always like this miscommunication of perception. It's not usually like an actual conflict or an actual misunderstanding. It's just a difference in perception. So I always find that in conflict, it actually it helps to talk it out more it helps to actually dive into trying to understand your partner more. That's why I was asking James to like speak on it more, because I could then, you know, feel into what he was saying and understand where the difference lies. And for me, that's just like an intuitive sense. So I don't know, comment below if you also have that same intuitive sense. But yeah, I find that in these types of conflicts or types of misunderstandings, like you can actually find the truth if you actually are able to just sit with each other's perspective a little bit longer. And I think that's also true with the doubt. You know, like if you're able to just sit in that unknown, you will actually come to a clearer truth, right? If you're in oh, this is interesting. If you're even in the program of doubt, you've come out of your heart center, right? Because you're in the anxious mind, you're in like the mind, like you're thinking, is it this, is it that, are my twin flames, are they not? Doubting. And so you're in this dualistic thinking, right? Doubt can only exist in duality, because there's doubt and then there's there's like knowing, right? So that can only really exist in duality. Whereas if you have that doubt, that's why when you lean into trust, you go back into your heart center, you're going to be able to feel the truth more clearly. You might not ever know the truth. Again, it's like this mind thing, right? You might not ever know the truth, but you can feel the truth in your body, in your heart.
You can feel that you know it. You can know that you feel it.
Maybe, I'm not sure. Do you have anything else to speak about on the twin flame doubt? Any advice for people who are going through this right now?
I think the only real advice that I could give, that I can speak from experience from, you know, us, that I feel would be very beneficial to majority, maybe not all, but majority of people, is if you're experiencing doubt, talk to your partner. It sounds stupid how simple it is, but sometimes just coming to your partner and be like, this is really getting to me, I'm doubting this is what I'm feeling, what, the whole long shabam. By expressing that to your partner, they can then come and be like, okay, I see where you're coming from, I understand that, this is what I see. Or, you know, or you could just be like, I just want you to listen, I don't want to respond to whatever it is, but just to go and talk to that person and just let them know where you are at will be the first step into rectifying or coming to truth or whatever it might be from that lens. So that for me is the number one thing, is if you're doubting something, talk to a partner. That's why I never talk to you, because I don't doubt anything. But but for me, that would probably be the number one thing, is just talk about it. Because if you're doubting the fact that you can talk to your partner about it, then it would be something that would be deeper. So I think you need to you need to dive into that and really express it with that person. I mean, it's your person. It's the person that you should be able to come to with anything and everything, and you know they're there for you no matter what, and that's ultimately what you want. So you want to be able to bring that forth to them.
And what about if their doubting is because of the fact that they can't talk to their twin flame?
Talk to twin flame about it. That can be a little bit more tricky, and that I think would come down to the circumstances and the reason as to behind that. I don't think that, for, like we've said in other videos before, there isn't one answer for all of it. And if you're going through that and you're not too sure, contact us. We'll happily not push you, but try help guide you onto the right path,
or join the community where other people, where other people I actually did it this time, where other people can help you know, relate to what you might be going through. We might have a lot of different community members who are in different stages of the journey, and that way are able to say, oh yeah, I went through that too, and this is how I managed it, you know.
I mean, the way I see a lot of these things, and the way that I try to help people understand things, is if, say, we've been through something that you're going through, we can tell you what helped us, but that exact way that we have gone about it might not be beneficial to you, but there might be something within inside that you can be like, that resonates with me, I can use that one part and then use that as kind of the core, and then build your what would be the right word, your plan. I mean, that's thesis, that's a very mundane way of looking at it, but yes, essentially your plan around that core thing that resonates with you, and from there you kind of develop it to suit you and your situation and your partner and how you would like to move forward.
I also think, just to add to that, I know you said there's not one like specific answer, but I do think that if you are in no contact with your twin, and that's the reason that you're doubting, right, is because you haven't had contact with them in a while, just remember that no contact is like a very clear direction to turn inward. So ask yourself, why do I not trust myself, right? Like if you had this profound connection with somebody and you had this incredible like download when you first met them that this is something otherworldly and divine and it could be your twin flame, and then months go by without talking to them and then you start to doubt, that's normal. Let's just say from a human lens, that's very normal.
Yeah.
So don't add to the doubt by berating yourself for doubting. But ask yourself, okay, well, why don't I trust myself? Why don't I trust in the connection? Why don't I trust what I experienced in my heart? And that will also, I think, lead you to some really profound answers.
Yeah.
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 So thank you guys for joining us today. If you have any questions, put it down below. If you'd like to ask us a question, you can fill out our form, Ask Me Anything. We answer these questions probably every other week or so in our videos. And yeah, if you're looking for more help, you can always join Twin Flame Path to Awakening. This is for Twin Flame Path to Awakening is our group coaching program. So this is for people that know they need a lot of extra help in the healing arena, right? Like the community is really for just like a fun, lighthearted, let's connect, let's grow, let's learn, let's share together. In like a beautiful way. And the Twin Flame Path to Awakening is quite a bit more dense and like heavier almost, but also like so much more transformation. Like it's really aimed on accessing those deep parts of yourself that need to be healed and cleansed and worked through, right? So 2 different functions. You know where you need to be based on what I just said. And we will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for being here today. Big love.
Bye.
Bye.